don't know how to start this because this is something I've never done before. I've never been in that mode to want to do a live unless I was streaming or I don't really know how to say it, but normally I like to do videos and be able to content and compile and do things that allow me to modify. Modify is a bad word, so let me not say that. I guess edit and change the way things may look or the way things may be rendered when the video is done. It gives a sense of creativity and passion for something that you do, and I'm very, very steadfast in that, and I take a lot of pride in some of the stuff that I do graphically as well as in video. But today I felt compelled that something that I was really passionate about and wanted to do was go live and talk to you and give you an update. It's been about 6 months since I sat in front of a camera and recorded myself and told you my story, and tried to speak words that really pushed and empowered you to want to watch or maybe relate to something that I've experienced and maybe you're going through. And I felt like the only way to do that now would be either to record a video, which is fine, but I like the idea of going live because you get an unadulterated, no cuts, no edits, no changes aspect and view of me and what I'm going through or what my story is right now. A lot of stuff has changed in the last 7 months. For those of you who don't know, some of the early videos that you see were in the early phases of my transition and in the early phases of my journey. I took a lot of passion and pride in that, and I still do. A lot of things that I have taken insight from come from people that mentor me and that I look up to and who are very, very big voices in the trans community, and it's inspiring. So a lot of the key points that I take advice from are individuals like that who have impacted my life, and my goal in this is to be able to have a voice for other people who want to be impacted by something I'm saying. A lot of people are in a dark place and don't have the ability to be embraced or empowered to speak freely or express themselves the way that they want to. And my journey has empowered me to be a voice for other people and make an impact in a positive fashion. Being able to influence others and lead by an example of positivity allows me the ability to feel like I've done something for the day, or I've done something with my journey to help you. And I apologize for the ums and the breaks because, like I said, when you're doing a live, this is unadulterated and unrated and unedited. You're getting straight from what I'm telling you. But roughly 7 months ago, I started HRT. That was a very rewarding and emotional day for me. I vowed to myself that when I did this live today that I would not get emotional and cry. But it was a very proud moment for me because it was finally my door and my opening to allow me to go into that point of knowing where I wanted to be in my journey and help me push to the next level. And that was something that I was so ready for. I believe that every person who goes through something like this in a journey experiences that some type of cathartic or euphoric moment when you finally associate one with the other and it makes sense. And that's what happened that day. I knew that the journey coming forward past that point was going to be a roller coaster, to say the least. There are a lot of trans individuals, either trans men or trans women, that are very, very forthright and tell you a lot about what's going on in their lives. And it's a very personal look into some of the most tough times that they may experience and the emotional troubles and trials that they're going through. And having that relatability is something that you can't put a money value on. I would say for me, has made me appreciate the support and love of the people that follow me on my Instagram, on my YouTube, even in my workplace. I was really nervous about coming out at work and establishing who I was, and without any regard or any second guessing, they took it in full embrace, which was really, really rewarding and uplifting. It was like a giant weight was lifted off my shoulders. I'd been living a whole year in my gender prior to starting HRT, and it wasn't because I wasn't ready to start it. And a lot of people ask me over and over again, why didn't you why didn't you start HRT right after you figured it out? And I said I needed a year to solidify my mental health, my physical well-being, my workplace, my family, my friends, and get myself ready emotionally as well as mentally to know that this was the right choice for me. And I everybody does it different. Your choice is your choice. You choose your own speed and your own path. There is no right way or wrong way for doing your journey. For me, it took a year, and I was okay with that. When I started HRT, I knew that that was where I wanted to go, and a lot of stuff has changed. The list is too long to even begin to tell you what and how many changes have happened to my body. It's mind-blowing. I think the biggest thing was that everybody talks about, especially for trans women, is like your development of breasts. And for educational purposes, and so I don't get blocked on YouTube for saying something like that. Trust me, we're not going down that pathway. I'm not making this a dirty thing. This is just a personal reflection of what my life was like during that initial phase for those first 3 months. And it is definitely something that you're not ready for. You understand that there are different things that could happen to your body in that facet, but you don't know how your personal body is going to react to it. For me, many of you who are close to me and have known me for quite some time can relate and tell me that you knew me. I was flat, very athletic male. And 3 months later, things started to change. My skin is super, super soft. I love it. Lost weight. I started out at 209 pounds, and I'm now down to 169. Do I hate it? No. Does it throw you for a loop? Yeah, it's definitely interesting, to say the least. But in the last 6 or 7 months, I've done a lot of things. I've done a lot of thinking. I've done a lot of reflecting. I've done a lot of looking at myself in the mirror and realizing just how beautiful I have been on the inside as well as the outside. And as my kids like to tell me, it doesn't matter what the gift wrap looks like on the outside. It's what matters on the inside and who you are as a person. And I made it a passion to embrace that ever since I came out to them. And my best friend, who I've known a long time and has been along the side of me for this whole entire journey, she has said the same thing. As long as the gift wrap, it doesn't matter how beautiful it is on the outside. It's the beauty that you have on the inside. And I have to agree. my body has changed. I've lost weight. Fat has went different places that I never knew was possible. I had no butt. I was flat. Now I have an ass. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that live on here, but for those of you who are watching, I didn't have a butt. I was flat as a board. And now I'm blessed to say that I actually have curves. I have hips. I lost a lot of weight through here, and it moved down, so it's now down along my hips, which is pretty nice, and clothes fit the way that they should, and it feels rewarding and empowering and impactful. And I can only tell you that, and if you're wondering why I'm looking over to the side, it's like I'm streaming everything live for you guys right here, and I have a monitor machine to my right, and it tells me how things look and what people are doing and how many people are here. And for those of you who are here, I want to tell you thank you for taking time out of your evening to sit and listen to me give you an update about how my life has been over the last 7 months. I can honestly say I haven't been happier. It's rewarding. It's fulfilling. It's empowering. It makes you feel like you can conquer anything. I wake up every day feeling blessed because I have the ability to do what I do, and more importantly, be able to speak to people and impact them in a positive fashion to bring light to whatever situation they're encountering and try and provide them some kind of peace with relational, I guess, adaptability, or being able to relate to something that they're going through and help them through my own personal struggles and help them ease through whatever pain they are. And that's been a mission of mine. I have dabbled prior to my current status in dating. It was interesting to say the least. I'll go into that in another video, but I'm happy to say that I am in a very, very healthy and loving and rewarding relationship with a woman that I have known for about 7 months. Those of you who follow me on Instagram or any of my other social medias, you would be able to see who that is. Out of privacy and respect for her, I am not putting her name out there right now at this time, but I am very happy to say that she makes me happy, complete and wanted, and like I belong and I matter. And that's something that I can't stress enough for any of you who are going through this. Thank you. I see your comment over there. Your makeup looks fabulous. Thank you. I'm trying. I was just playing around with this tonight, and I'm testing some new product, and what you see is what you see. And not gonna lie, I low-key love it. And I don't know why I haven't done this for a long time in the past. I have beautiful lashes by myself naturally, but I decided to add something today to make it feel a little bit more dramatic and a little bit more, I guess, over the top. Because every day doesn't need to be a normal day. You can have days where you feel like you're over the top, and there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, 7 months. I have a healthy standpoint with my career. I have a healthy standpoint with my relationship and my dating life. Hormones are going very well. I am anxious as I creep up on the 1 year mark to look back and realize what a journey it's been and some of the things that I've experienced. More importantly, the appreciation and overall awe that I'm just struck with because of all of the love and support that I've gotten from people like you, and realizing just how short life is, and to not take things for granted and be appreciative of those around you. All too often we find ourselves going through the same struggles every day and afraid to ask for help. We're afraid to lean on others for support, and I'm here to tell you that it's okay to be in a place like that. It's okay to have pain, but don't be afraid to reach out to somebody and talk to them. We're all here for that reason, in some way, shape, or form. I'm using this to help document my journey and let you know what that's been like for me, and hopefully help touch others and inspire others to do that self-reflection moment, whether you realize that you're trans, or whether you realize that you're gay or lesbian or bi or non-binary or anything in the LGBTQ. Hell, you can even be straight and realize that now is the time for me to make a difference and do something different in my life, in a career choice or in a personal choice or with your kids. It doesn't matter what your avenue is, but my goal is to just be able to empower you to take a moment and look in the mirror and realize how special you are and how much you mean to us and the world and the people around you, and that life is too short to consistently grind with no results and put yourself in a state of mental health that doesn't reward you with any success or satisfaction or happiness. You control your happiness, not anybody else. Nobody can buy it for you. No amount of money is going to do it. I'm blessed because I can say that I've done a lot of right choices and I've done a lot of wrong choices, and I'm at a point where I feel like I'm financially getting to the point where I think smart choices have been made. I've made some other mistakes along the line, but that doesn't mean that I'm not aware of my mistakes, and I'm working to fix that. We're all human, but none of those things bring you happiness. You have to find happiness in here. And hopefully my journey will allow you the ability to reflect on yourself and where you are in life and maybe change something. Or if it's not change you and change something about you, maybe it's somebody you know and you can help them change. That's a great thing. Every day I have a situation, without fail, where I feel like I'm impacting somebody, or I'm making a positive impact for a choice that they made in their lives, and that makes me feel good. I don't do this for the attention. I'm not doing these videos to gain clout or push propaganda or stand for some kind of other message because I'm trying to gain an angle or manipulate you or be sugar-coated about things. I don't play games like that. I just wanted to make sure that when I did this and documented what I'm going through and how it impacted me and why it's important, I wanted to be able to talk to you personally, one-on-one, and experience things live and raw and uncut and not edited and went over in Adobe or any other software and then having to publish it later. This felt right to me. So that's why I'm doing it. It's not about the fame. It's not about the attention. I'm doing it because I want to make a difference for everybody else, just like people made a difference in my life. And for that, I'm very thankful. I can't express in words the amount of appreciation and thankfulness that I feel for some of the people who've been there the entire time. And sorry. When you realize that you're not alone, it really opens up your eyes to realize that it may be a really tough struggle for you, and it was probably a really tough struggle for somebody else. But the worst feeling is ever to realize who you are and how much self-worth you have, and in the middle of it feel like you're alone. I told myself I wouldn't cry when I did this. Here I am gonna screw up my makeup. But the reality is, when it all boils down to it, everybody goes through hardships, and there have been some tough times for me. And if it hadn't been for those people who are close to me, I don't think I'd be where I am today. And I will tell you that in the last 8 months, it's been increasingly difficult and extremely rewarding. No matter what I do, whatever choice I make, everything comes with an equal and opposite reaction, no matter what I do and what choice I make. And the confidence changes daily. As your body changes and you start to realize just how gorgeous you are or handsome you are. I've seen some really, really handsome trans men that have been doing their own thing on TikTok and on other social media platforms, and it's inspiring. And that's what I'm gaining to do here. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make a difference by using this medium to help others. Every day I feel like I'm changing a little more, and different parts of me are forming the way that I seen them in my head the whole entire time. And that's one of the craziest realizations I can tell you in words. Low key, no cap, as they say, or my kids say, low key, no cap, because I'm not lying when I tell you that. Like, when you come to that realization and it just clicks, it's mesmerizing, to say the least. I've been doing a lot with vocal training, changing my octave and pitch, and taking courses and trying to feminize things. And I'm really impressed and really happy with my changes. And I look back at how I used to talk and what that octave and tone was, and it was super, super weird to listen to myself. It even scarier is, like, on my cell phone, I have not changed my voicemail. And to all you who still call me on my phone and leave a voicemail, I'm sorry. I know that that's gotta be a shock, because for almost 2 years now, you're used to me and the real, and then you hear that voice and you're like, did I just dial the wrong number? And I assure you, you haven't. I've just been lazy. I have not taken the time to do the necessary things like change my voicemail, because I don't really know who does voicemail anyways anymore. I just do text or Snapchat or Instagram, and that seems to be the normal right now. And I'm okay with that. That's cool. But I feel what people are saying when, making the changes in other places. But I'll get to it. I promise. I really will. What else has been different? I've done a lot of things personally too. Started my own merch, and it's turning out to be really successful. I was not really expecting some of the outcomings and the amount of support people have put in to order that merch. And for all of those out there who have, thank you so much. It took me a year to come up with an inspiration and design, and it makes me feel fantastic knowing that people out there like what I've designed and realize what message I'm trying to push because of that merch. It's been a learning experience, to say the least. The one thing that I will tell you, doing live lets me see you live in real time when you're talking to me, and I can see it over on my right monitor, which is kind of priceless. And I like that, because the interaction and being able to talk to you at the same time as being able to talk to you face to face and person to person. Yeah, you're right. I rolled eyes. It was definitely a shock the first time I got your voicemail. I thought I called the wrong number. Yeah. It's a great reflection to look back and realize over 2.5 years total, just how far that change has and how powerful your personal drive can be to accomplish something like that. And that's where I am. Like, I'm proud to say that this accomplishment has put me to this level and made me feel feelings way beyond what I could have ever expected. Blessed is how I would describe it. I know I'm rambling and I'm kind of sidetracking and jumping all over the place, and I do apologize for that. It's just kind of what happens. My ADHD kicks in, and the next thing I know, I'm over here, then I'm over there, and then I'm up there, and then there's a squirrel, and you kind of see where this goes. That's why I kind of keep my hands on like a ton of different things at a ton of different times, just to make sure that I know that this right here doesn't go off into another area because I can't focus. But if I keep my mind busy, then I feel like I accomplish things. I'm trying to think of what else has changed in 7 or 8 months since I last did that video. I guess I could go on for a long time, but I'm going to kind of keep this as much as possible within that 30-35 minute range because I don't want you guys to feel like I'm just going on and on. But I will tell you this. I promise you that as I move forward, I'm going to try and do more videos like this and more lives where I can post contents and give you guys daily updates on how my life is and what's changing for me, or what have I struggled with, or what haven't I had problems with or have problems. And if you guys have questions, I say this all the time. If there's something you're struggling with, or you have questions, or you have concerns and you need some advice, my social life and social communication platforms are completely open. I will not turn down anybody who is seeking advice or wants something clarified. I don't hide behind things to think that my transition is what you see is something doctored. I apologize, I've got the hiccups today. Everything you see is going to be just as it was in the first video, live, uncut, slight editing for pauses and breaks, but in this, where I can do lives like this, allows me the ability to just be free about what I want to say and be real and not sugarcoat shit, period. I have one story I'm going to tell you about. So the other day, some of the contingencies and rules in the state that I live in require a certain amount of time to pass before you can legally file for documentation. And by documentation, I mean things like your birth certificate, your social security card, your proper ID, whether that's just a standard driver's license or an identification card with your government, things that allow you to not be misgendered. In the beginning, when I first started this, before I started HRT, I would have a 50-50 percentage chance when I would get misgendered. Either 50% of the time, proper pronouns, proper name, proper identification all the time. And then 50% of that time, outside of that, it was always misgendered, despite the fact that I looked the way that I am now and the way that I present myself to you. And that gets frustrating, and it puts you in a place emotionally where you want to break down and you want to cry, and it's hurtful. It sucks. I hate it. And for all of those of you out there who are going through that, man, my heart, I tell you, my heart is with you. I understand that pain. But I can confidently say that as time goes on and you start your journey and you get into HRT and you work on your health and you eat right and take care of your skin and do the things that make you feel beautiful and proper and powerful, your confidence is what exudes that and changes that whole entire perception to everybody else. I have only been misgendered, I think, half a dozen times in the last 3 months. Words can't express how that feels. It's remarkable. There aren't any adjectives. It's ridiculous. But just recently, I had stopped at a store, and I'm going to leave you guys with a short story, and hopefully you'll find it a little bit funny. But you know me. I'm Sophia. It's nice to meet you. Everybody else in the world knows me as Sophia Madison. That's who I am. My Instagram, Fabulous Fee Madison. My in-game, when I play, as you can see, this is my gaming overlay that you're watching and you see right here. They know me as So Fierce Sophie or One Fierce Sophia, and everybody knows me as Sophia. And I love it. My heart's warm because of it. It makes me feel a state of bliss that I can't even put into words. But there are occasions that make me step back into reality and chuckle and then seriously go, wait, what? Hold on a second. Let's rewind and you tell me why this just happened. And it goes a little bit like this. So for some of you who know, I vape. I'm trying to cut back. I'm trying to stop. It's a hard effort, and it's something that I really enjoy doing. But I've been doing the proper things, like taking myself down from any amount of nicotine from that down to 0, so that way that I can still enjoy that aspect of it and not be affected by the nicotine with estrogen. Because in another video, I'm going to talk about HRT. I'm going to go into some details and talk about things that are science related that you may have questions about. And there's a lot of people out there that have videos that talk about what goes on with HRT, but I'm going to give you my personal account, what happened with me. And that's important to hear different people's perspectives because everybody is different. But because I vape, I have to get juice from time to time to fill up my device. And I had done my makeup pretty similar to what you see here. Nothing major. This is a pretty normal thing except for the eyeliner and my new lashes, which I am having to tell you, I am shook. Anywho, I stopped in the store and I went in and I knew what I wanted to buy and I knew the flavor and I knew exactly what my everything was, and I saw it on the shelf and I was like, hey, excuse me, can I have a bottle of that in 60 or 100 milliliter, and can I get it with 3 or 0? And he's like, I don't have 0 in it, but I do have 3. And I said, okay, can I get it in a 3? And he's like, and I have a 60 for you. And I said, okay. And then he looks at me, very, very, very polite gentleman. And with the utmost respect, he says to me, do you have ID? I need to check your ID. I kind of looked at him and I was like, how old do you think I am? And he goes, soft skin, pretty eyes. It'd be tough to say that you're over 21. You could be under. I'm not sure. I was like, really? And he said, yeah. He goes, I got to card everybody that I think that's under 35. And I said, okay. So I dug in my purse and I got my ID. Mind you, this is not what that looks like. That little card, 180 degrees difference, let me tell you. So I hand the ID over to him and he holds the ID up and he looks at it and he looks at me and he does this, looks at me again. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to sell that to you. Say what? Why? Well, we don't do business with people who have identities that they're stealing or have stolen and are trying to purchase things. You probably are of the age. He goes, but this is not you, and we don't sell to people who steal people's identities. I'm going to have to confiscate this ID. Really? No misgendering, no wrong pronouns, no wrong name, because I actually said who I was and introduced myself when I walked in the store by saying hello and being courteous. And this guy has the audacity to tell me he's going to confiscate my ID because it's a stolen identity. Whoa, fam. Whoa. Hold on. Just 1 second. So I have to scramble because I realized at that moment in my purse, I don't have anything that looks like that card. Nada. Everything I have, new badges, new access IDs, hotel cards, whatever, everything is in my proper name, my preferred name. All my pictures and everything that I have are all in that name. And I ran out to my car and I had my ID badge from my work. And it has my real last name on it. And I showed him and I said, this is me. Now, obviously, I look like the picture. And all of these things in my social media on my phone, they look like me, right? Like, yeah, you see this? And he goes, yeah, I follow you. And I'm like, okay, so we know we know where you are in that. And I said, okay, now here's how you know that this is me. And he says, okay. He goes, what are you going to show me? And I said, here's where the legal stuff starts. So I pulled out my insurance card, my prescription card, and every one of my cards, credit card, debit card, everything. And I pointed them all out. I said, do you notice a pattern here? And he says to me, well, yeah, that's kind of weird. What? Wait a minute. And he goes, I don't want to be disrespectful, but can I ask you a question? Sure. Are you transgendered? Very, very politely, not condescending, not threatening, not anything, just very shy about it. And I said, yes, I am a transgendered woman. And he looked at my ID and he slid it back and he's like, that'll be $22. And I said, okay. And he goes, oh my goodness. And I said, what's the matter? And he goes, I've just never seen anybody in person. It's like, I've watched videos, I've seen stuff like that. He goes, but I've never seen anybody in person who looks so gorgeous. And I was like, you're just saying that to be flattering. And he goes, no, I'm serious. He goes, you look beautiful. But to see what you were versus where you are now, he goes, that is mind-boggling to me. And I said, well, it's the power of decision and embodiment and medicine and HRT and realizing who you are and going through it. I said, that's what made me do it. I know who I am. And he said, he's like, it's amazing. He goes, I would love for you to come back into the store. He's like, my wife would love to talk to you. And I said, oh, well, okay. I'll make sure I stop in again sometime soon. In case you didn't hear what I said right there, I was like, not gonna do it, not anytime soon, not until I feel comfortable walking back into your store. This was just a little bit awkward, a smidge. But he handed me my ID back and he gave me my vape juice and told me I looked really pretty. Told me that he was very admiring of the fact of the courage that it takes for someone to make a decision like that and do what's right for themselves. And he said, darling, I can't imagine the journey you've been through so far and what you're about to embark on. But he's like, I wish you the best. And I feel like you're going to go places. So you keep doing you. And I said, funny. That's what exactly I say every time. You do you, boo. You do you. Just like my hashtag on my Instagram says, be bold, be beautiful, but just always be you. And that's going to put me at 40 minutes. I know this feels like a therapy session, which I didn't want it to be like. But hello, lovelies. I'm Sofia. It's nice to meet you. Thanks for taking time, for those of you who actually sat down and watched this today, to listen to me give you an update. I promise you, I will do more. I will get on here. I'll reach out and make sure that I'm available for you people all aware, no matter what you're doing, in any kind of situation. I will make myself available so that way you know where I am and know that I'm okay and that I care about you and that you're okay. So with that, I'm going to tell you, thank you for watching my stream. I appreciate each and every one of you. You don't know how amazing it feels to have such support like this and knowing I'm not alone. So thank you. And I will be back soon, I promise. Take care. Love you all. Stay bold, stay beautiful, but always stay you.